I think the one thing that has stood out for me is change will always win. Change is constant. As you create boundaries, your circle gets smaller.
Yeah, because people didn't know really what it was. The title can throw it off. Like, wait, you know, you're dealing with people who went through some real life situations.
Hey guys, the internet is buzzing about Tia Mowry, and trust me, this story is about to make you question everything you thought you knew about her divorce from Cory Hardrict. While she's been posting those living my best life videos, behind the scenes, things are getting seriously messy. Fresh sources reveal that Tia's been struggling way more than she's letting on. Remember all those empowering posts about choosing happiness? Well, it turns out those might have been covering up some major regrets about ending her marriage. The private messages that just leaked show a completely different side to this divorce story. Multiple insiders confirm that while Cory's career is absolutely soaring with Tyler Perry projects and new opportunities, Tia's been quietly trying to reconnect. But here's what makes this situation really interesting. She's not just missing him. She's watching her whole post-divorce narrative crumble. Think about it. She went from preaching about self-love and independence to reportedly showing up at places where she knows Cory will be. The shift in her social media content tells a story that nobody's talking about, but everyone's noticing. Breaking down Tia's recent social media activity reveals something fascinating. Every time Cory hits a new career milestone, he mysteriously posts throwback content or memories from their marriage. The timing? Way too perfect to be coincidental. Sources close to the situation say she's been reaching out to mutual friends, trying to get updates about Cory's life. But here's where it gets really interesting. While she's publicly talking about conscious uncoupling and peaceful co-parenting, she's allegedly been showing up at industry events she normally wouldn't attend, just hoping to run into him. The security footage from these accidental run-ins exposes a plan nobody saw coming. Meanwhile, Cory's out here living his best life, booking major roles and earning his highest paychecks ever. That Tyler Perry project, it didn't just boost his career, it completely changed the power dynamic between them. For the first time, he's not being labeled as Tia Mowry's husband. He's standing in his own spotlight. In those cryptic Instagram posts, Tia's been sharing about missing what you had and appreciating people before it's too late. Yeah, they all mysteriously align with Cory's success announcements. The co-parenting situation isn't as picture-perfect as their PR teams want us to believe. While Tia's posting those carefully staged friendly ex photos, sources say she's been trying to manipulate their custody schedule to spend more time around Cory.
To be honest with you, it can be a little overwhelming at times. I mean, I am human, you know? But I've come to realize that it comes with the territory. I mean, this is, you know, my profession, and people are gonna have an opinion, and it is what it is, and that's okay, you know? That's okay.
Remember that emotional interview where she talked about loneliness during the holidays? What she conveniently left out was how she allegedly tried to change their agreed-upon holiday arrangements at the last minute. Multiple sources confirm she's been using their kids as an excuse to create family moments that go way beyond normal co-parenting. The text messages between their management teams expose a desperation nobody expected from Tia, but Cory's handling this whole situation like a boss. Instead of engaging in the drama, he's focused on building his empire. That highest payday he mentioned, sources say it's just the beginning. He's got multiple projects lined up that are about to make his Tyler Perry paycheck look like pocket change. Meanwhile, Tia's reality show isn't just about sharing her life. It's becoming a documentary of someone realizing they might have made a massive mistake. The raw footage that didn't make it to air, it tells a completely different story than what we're seeing in the final cuts. Let's talk about something nobody's addressing: the financial aftermath of this split. When Tia filed for divorce, she thought she was holding all the cards. But Cory's recent success has completely flipped the script on their power dynamic. Fresh documents show that while Tia kept the house and most of their shared assets, Cory's new projects are generating the kind of wealth that makes their previous lifestyle look modest. We're talking about deals that are setting him up for generational wealth, not just acting paychecks. Industry insiders reveal that Tia's team is watching Cory's success with growing concern. Those independent woman posts she keeps sharing, they're starting to look less like empowerment and more like damage control. Every time Cory announces a new project, Tia's social media activity spikes with nostalgic content. But here's what's really fascinating. While everyone's focused on Tia's apparent regrets, they're missing how strategically Cory's been playing this whole situation. He hasn't said a negative word about her, hasn't engaged in any public drama, and yet he's somehow coming out looking better than ever. The Hollywood social circle dynamics in this situation are absolutely wild. Remember how Tia used to be the one getting all the industry invites? Well, the tables have turned so dramatically, it's giving everyone whiplash. Cory's now the one everyone's trying to connect with. Sources at recent industry events report that Tia's been trying to maintain her presence in circles that are now naturally gravitating toward Cory. Weird. talking about her showing up at events where she knows he'll be, only to watch him become the center of attention. Multiple attendees confirm that at a recent Netflix event, Tia spent the entire evening trying to position herself in Cory's orbit, while he was busy networking with A-list directors and producers. The way she kept accidentally ending up in his conversation groups.
Definitely.
So, and kids, they learn through observation. I could sit here and all I want.
Yeah.
But when they actually see mommy, moving and, being an example or living an authentic life, or just kind of like moving through her fears or even, her desires and working hard and all of that, when they actually see me doing that, then I feel like, they are able to learn. Speaking of learning, because, I have anxiety.
Pure calculation. But here's what's really telling. While Tia's focusing on maintaining her social status, Cory's out here building genuine industry relationships. Those same people who used to see him as Tia's husband are now seeing him as a serious player in the game. The impact on their inner circle reveals something nobody's talking about. Those mutual friends they shared during their marriage? They're starting to gravitate toward Cory, and it's not just because of his success. It's about how differently they've each handled this split. Fresh sources reveal that while Tia's been venting to anyone who'll listen, Cory's maintained a dignified silence that's earning him major respect. Even their children's teachers have noticed the contrast in their approaches to co-parenting events. The private conversations their friends are having about this situation will shock everyone. Remember those Instagram lives where Tia kept talking about growth and moving forward? Well, multiple friends confirm she's been doing the exact opposite behind closed doors. She's apparently been calling mutual friends late at night, trying to gather intel about Cory's dating life. But what's really fascinating is how their industry friends are choosing sides. Those same people who used to praise Tia for choosing herself are now quietly admitting they might have misjudged the situation. The way Cory's handled himself post-divorce has completely changed people's perception of their marriage dynamic. The reality show footage that didn't make the final cut tells a completely different story than what we're seeing on screen. Sources from production reveal that Tia's been having emotional breakdowns between takes, especially when discussing Cory's rising success. What's really eye-opening is how the editing team has been working overtime to maintain Tia's strong independent woman narrative. But those raw footage leaks? They show moments where she's literally scrolling through Cory's Instagram during filming breaks, analyzing every detail of his new life. Industry insiders say the show's producers are sitting on a gold mine of content that exposes the real story. We're talking about scenes where Tia's literally planning her schedule around Cory's public appearances, all while claiming she's moved on in her confessionals. Meanwhile, Cory hasn't watched a single episode of her show. Sources close to him say he's too busy focusing on his craft and building his empire to engage in what he sees as manufactured drama. The way he's elevated above all this, it's actually making Tia's attempts to maintain control of the narrative look increasingly desperate. The financial decisions made during their divorce are coming back to haunt Tia in ways nobody expected. While she kept the family home and most of their shared assets, Cory walked away with something far more valuable: his freedom to build without limitations. Forces with direct knowledge of their divorce settlement revealed that Tia's team thought they were being clever by securing the material assets. But what they didn't count on was Cory's potential for massive career growth. That Tyler Perry paycheck? It's just the tip of the iceberg. The contract numbers from Cory's upcoming projects will make their divorce settlement look like pocket change.
Wow, I watched a bunch of Wesley Snipes movies, and I read, just read some cool little books, but I just got in Philly. Like, when I got down there, I'm like, take me to the hood, I want to see how they talk, what they eat,
what
the vibe.
What do they eat?
Ishkabibbles, like cheesesteaks, the pretzels, ice water, they eat all that. So I just soaked it all in.
Industry experts say Cory's current trajectory could make him one of Hollywood's highest paid actors within the next 2 years. Meanwhile, Tia's career has hit what insiders are calling a reflection period, code for struggling to maintain relevance without the power couple dynamic. But here's what's really fascinating. While Tia's social media is full of sponsored content and forced positivity, Cory's barely posting at all. He's too busy actually working, building relationships with industry heavyweights who are now seeing him as leading man material. The way their children are handling this situation adds another layer to this complicated story. Sources close to the family say the kids are picking up on Tia's emotional state, especially when she tries to orchestrate those accidental family reunions. Teachers at their children's school have noticed something interesting. While Tia's constantly trying to create photo opportunities at school events, Cory shows up quietly, focuses on the kids, and leaves without any drama. The contrast in their approaches couldn't be more stark. The school staff's private observations about their co-parenting style will leave you speechless. Multiple sources confirm that Tia's been using the kids' activities as opportunities to stay connected to Cory. She's allegedly been signing up for every possible parent committee, volunteer opportunity, and school event where she might cross paths with him. Meanwhile, Cory's just showing up for what matters, the kids' actual moments. The really telling part, their children have started asking to spend more time at Cory's new place, where things are apparently calmer and less focused on creating social media content. This shift in the kids' preferences is something Tia's inner circle says is really affecting her. The professional fallout from this divorce is something nobody predicted. While everyone expected Tia to thrive as the established star, it's Cory who's experiencing a career renaissance that's leaving Hollywood stunned. Inside sources reveal that casting directors who previously saw Cory as just Tia's husband are now fighting to get him in their projects. His performance in Tyler Perry's latest film didn't just earn him his biggest paycheck, it's opened doors that were previously sealed shut. The offers landing on Cory's desk right now would make any A-list star jealous. Meanwhile, Tia's professional choices are raising eyebrows. She's been turning down roles that might take her away from LA, with sources saying she's refusing to film anywhere that would make it harder to keep tabs on Cory's movements. Her team is apparently concerned that she's letting personal matters affect her career decisions. But here's what's really fascinating. The industry power players who used to only invite Tia to their exclusive events are now courting Cory. We're talking about private dinners with studio heads, confidential meetings with major producers, and the kind of networking opportunities that can make or break careers in Hollywood.
Because people didn't know really what it was. The title can throw it off. Like, wait, you're dealing with people who went through some real life situations. But, speaking to Tyler, he picked the best people for the job. Megan's been doing this 30 years plus. She's earned this right. She's a producer on the project. She had say on who she wanted to work with. And, I'm thankful it was me. And this role, has changed my career trajectory. Now everyone's, they're like, wait, he's been doing this for so long, but he's really that dude. You know what I'm saying? I've been really doing this. Like, if you look, I just been taking the stairs.
Let's talk about something that's been completely overlooked. The way their friend groups have shifted since the split. Those celebrity couples who used to be their friends, they're increasingly choosing Team Cory, and it's not just because of his success. Sources close to their social circle reveal that while Tia's been trying to maintain these friendships by talking about the past, Cory's naturally strengthening them through his present actions. The way he's handled himself post-divorce has earned him respect that money can't buy. Multiple celebrity friends have confirmed Tia's constant need to discuss the divorce has become exhausting. While she's reaching out to mutual friends for updates about Cory's life, he's busy building genuine connections that have nothing to do with their past relationship. The really interesting part, those same friends who initially sided with Tia are now quietly admitting they might have misjudged the situation. Watching Cory rise above the drama while focusing on his craft and their kids has changed a lot of perspectives in their social circle. Even their industry mentors are taking notice. Tyler Perry's public praise of Cory isn't just about his acting, it's about his professionalism and dignity during this whole situation. The social media strategy from both camps tells a story nobody's talking about. While Tia's posting daily affirmations and living my best life contenting, Cory's minimal social media presence speaks volumes about where their priorities lie. Marketing experts analyzing their online presence note that Tia's increased posting frequency directly correlates with Cory's career announcements. Every time he books a major role or receives industry recognition, her content shifts to either nostalgic throwbacks or overly enthusiastic independence posts. The social media analysis report that just dropped exposes patterns that are almost painful to watch. But here's what's really telling. While Tia's busy crafting the perfect Instagram narrative, Cory's barely online at all. His rare posts are either about his work or his kids, and they're getting more engagement than Tia's daily content storm. The authenticity gap between them is becoming impossible to ignore. Sources from their management teams reveal that Tia's publicists are struggling to maintain her empowered single mom image, especially as more people notice the disconnect between her public statements and private actions. Meanwhile, Cory doesn't even have a publicity team. Contrast in their approaches has become so obvious that even social media influencers are making videos analyzing the situation. The way Cory's silence is overshadowing Tia's constant sharing, it's becoming a case study in post-divorce public relations. The impact on their individual brands reveals something fascinating about public perception. While Tia's trying to maintain her image as a lifestyle guru and empowerment icon,
I think the one thing that has stood out for me is change will always win. Mm-hmm. Change is constant. Mm-hmm. As you create boundaries, your circle gets smaller. When you are living in the present, that's where the magic happens. Mm-hmm. There's peace, there's gratitude. But also I think the biggest change, or the thing that I've learned about myself, is understanding and knowing or taking responsibility for my own pain and suffering.
Her credibility is taking hits every time she contradicts her own message about moving forward. Recent market research shows that brands are increasingly interested in working with Cory, despite him not having any previous lifestyle or social media presence. Why? Because authenticity is selling better than carefully curated content right now, and Cory's genuine approach to this situation is resonating with audiences. The brand deal numbers hitting both their desks tell a story nobody saw coming. Industry insiders reveal that while Tia's still getting offers for social media campaigns and reality TV appearances, Cory's being approached for prestigious brand ambassadorships and serious acting roles. The difference in the types of opportunities they're receiving speaks volumes about how this divorce has affected their professional trajectories. What's really interesting is how their teams are handling these changes. Tia's management is scrambling to rebuild her brand around something more substantial than divorce recovery, while Cory's minimal team is turning down offers that don't align with his career goals. Even their approach to interviews shows this stark contrast. Tia's emotional sit-downs about personal growth are being overshadowed by Cory's rare but impactful discussions about his craft and future projects. The final piece of this puzzle might be the most revealing: their different approaches to future relationships. While Tia's been posting cryptic messages about waiting for the right time and knowing your worth, Cory's quiet confidence has attracted attention from some of Hollywood's most eligible singles. Sources close to both parties reveal that while Tia's friends are trying to set her up on dates, she's still monitoring Cory's every move. The really interesting part: she reportedly turns down any potential matches who work in the entertainment industry, afraid they might have connections to Cory's new projects. The dating scene tea that just spilled will make everyone rethink this whole situation.